A chill goes down your spine. Your hairs stand up on your neck. You sense you're being watched, but you turn around and no one is there. You sit on the edge of your seat wondering, are they going to make it? And who is next? For fans who like watching shows that get your heart racing but make your blood run cold, welcome to WTF, where we talk about shows that make you go, well, that's freaky. Like and subscribe to the Prime Video channel for more freaky stuff. We're going to be focusing on 3 Korean thrillers. So sit back, grab your weighted blanket, and let's jump into it. Marry My Husband. Have you ever had a best friend who acted a little strange when things were going well for you? How about a husband who says he loves you, but when you need him to do something for you, he pouts and throws a tantrum? Well, Kang Ji-won is familiar with the feeling. Ji-won works at an advertising agency with her husband, Park Min-hwan, and best friend, Jang Soo-min. Ji-won prides herself on being a hard worker and quick thinker, but her manager doesn't think so. She tries to confide in her husband, but Min-hwan acts like a child thanks to his overbearing mother, and he even quits the company to focus on investing in stocks. Ji-won picks up the slack at work and Min-hwan slacks off at home, playing video games and leaving trash everywhere, making his wife now carry the weight of the bills, chores, and the relationship all on her back. Can you say weaponized incompetence? After dealing with her husband's nonsense for so long, all the stress weighs on Ji-won's body and she is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. While getting treatment, Kang Ji-won is told her payments stopped coming and she is now being discharged early. Min-hwan isn't answering her calls, so she hails a cab. The ride over is gorgeous, and she receives kind words from her curiously kind cab driver, who gives her money back. When Ji-won finally arrives home, she notices Jang Soo-min's shoes in the entryway. She steps inside and sees her best friend and husband sleeping together, talking about how they can't wait until Ji-won is dead.
10억이랬나?
죽으면. 근데 진단보험금은 벌써 받아서 자기 가방 사줬고 남은 건 자기 더 좋은 가방 사주려고 주식에 넣어놨지.
써라. 지원이 죽으면 우리 집 사자.
집 좋지. 근데 인연은 생각보다 오래 버티네.
Things escalate into a heated argument that leaves Kang Ji-won on the floor with her head cracked open, dead. Moments later, she jolts awake to find herself 10 years in the past. This show asks the question we all ask ourselves after having a huge falling out with someone we thought we were close to. If I knew what I know now, what would I do differently back then? Kang Ji-won decides if Min-hwan and Soo-min like each other so much, they can have each other. Marry My Husband is a warning for the people pleasers out there. Look at what can happen to your life when you don't stand up for yourself. Luckily, Kang Ji-won gets a second chance to make some changes and put up some boundaries. What do you think she will do? Find out now, only on Prime Video. Death's Game. The beginning is the end. We start with Choi Yi-jae taking a call from his girlfriend. On the way to the last round of hiring for what he hopes is his new job at Taekang, a major conglomerate. Suddenly, a man runs out into the street and gets hit by oncoming traffic. Yi-jae completely flops his last interview due to the trauma of what he has seen. Having failed to secure employment, he spends the next 7 years looking for work, finding part-time jobs to keep him afloat and pay off his school debts. After those 7 years, he finally makes it as a Taekang finalist again. The interview seemingly goes well, but then he gets scammed and loses all his money. And when his girlfriend gives him a little money to hold him over, he feels too guilty to take it and breaks up with her. When he arrives home, all his stuff is outside. He has been evicted. Next morning, he finds out once again he has failed his interview. Life is not looking up for this guy. Just when bro is so worn down and decides to end it all, right as he hits the pavement, he wakes up in a private jet as Siwon from Super Junior. Well, it's Siwon the actor, playing a character in the show. He is sitting across from a lady who knows his name. That lady is Death herself. His punishment for disgracing Death by trying to kill himself is that he now has to find a way to live. He has 12 lives to spare, and if he doesn't survive any of his lives, he will go to his final destination, hell.
내가 무슨 죄를 지었다고? 내가 무슨 죄를 지었다고 그곳에 가는 거야?
내가 너를 찾아가기 전 먼저 나를 만나러 온 죄.
However, Yi Jae just took his own life, so his desire to continue living is small. The plane he's on starts to shake violently, but everything turns out okay. Just then, a glowing jewel enters Yi Jae's mind to catch him up on the memories of the person whose body he is occupying. The first life he's living is the competitive second son of Taekang's CEO, not Siwon from Super Junior. Just thought I'd clear that up. That might make life worth living, won't it? Of course, the plane blows up right when he starts to get comfy. This guy's life sucks. His afterlife sucks. He cannot catch a break. Death gives Yi Jae a sneak peek of hell to remind him of what he's facing if he loses, and he doesn't look too thrilled about what he sees there. Once again, here we are at the beginning, in the end, which to Death is only the beginning. I wonder though, why is Yi Jae getting this special chance at life again? Not just once, but a dozen times. Will Yi Jae be able to avoid being sent to hell? Like I said, it's not looking good for this guy. All in all, this is a story about a man reconciling with his death, reanalyzing the impact of his life and the people he walked with in it, and trying to figure out his ultimate sin besides the taking of his life that he has committed. If you love suspense, action, and a touch of fantasy, you will love Death's Game, now streaming on Prime Video. The Killing Vote. People are dying! Well, not the good people at least. Imagine you get a ping on your phone about someone who has committed a serious crime, and you get to vote on whether or not they should die. Well, that is what the Killing Vote is all about. In a world where our justice system is inherently flawed, regular citizens take it upon themselves to serve extrajudicial killings on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Sounds kinda good. Huh, well, maybe it starts that way, but as it unravels, innocent people get tangled up. The show first introduces us to two police officials, Ju Hyun and Kim Moo Chan. These are two very different cops with two different approaches. Kim Moo Chan is a detective who wants to get the guy, no matter what laws he may or may not have to break, including acts of physical violence. Ju Hyun isn't always by the books either, as she is a hacker for the Korean government, but she doesn't feel as comfortable taking it as far as Kim Moo-chan does. One fateful day, an unfair ruling causes a human trafficker to be released early. As protests rage on throughout the day, everyone, and I mean everyone in Seoul, gets a message ping on their phones. It's an ominous poll about whether or not the trafficker deserves to die. When the trafficker sees this, he gloats and votes for himself. After the voting period ends, over 80% of the population believes that the trafficker should die. The next day, they find the trafficker's body surrounded by cash and his gullet stuffed with won. Kim Moo-chan arrives on the scene, and once again, we see the Killing Vote ping everyone's phones. This isn't a game, it's real life. The consequences to your actions are real. Are you ready for the ramifications? Did any of these shows give you goosebumps? Which one of these shows are you most looking forward to checking out for the thrill? Let us know in the comments. And before you go, make sure to like this video if you want to see more shows that make you go, well, that's freaky. And subscribe to Prime Video for more updates and behind the scenes of your favorite shows. Stay spooky, y'all.